Well, hello, my fellow sensitive people. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your support of the channel. I do appreciate it. Just wanted to send my prayers and condolences to everyone who's been a victim of the terrorist attack that took place in New Orleans. It's terrible. Unfortunately, there are people in this world with some strange ideas, and unfortunately, a lot of people have been hurt. I believe something like 15 people uh, may have passed. So we send our prayers to them and to their loved ones at this time. So I was asked to go in and do some remote views about some of what's going on in the world. As you know, the Congress is really thin right now. The difference between Republican seats and Democratic seats, I believe, is only a couple of seats ahead in the Republican. Republicans are only ahead a couple of seats, and of course, one of the Republicans ended up stepping down because of uh, she had evidently suffered from dementia and was actually in a senior home. That was Kay Granger, I guess. Was she from Texas, if I'm not mistaken? Excuse me. She was a GOP Republican from Texas. She'd been in a retirement facility for 6 months before anybody had known that she had been in a hospital, in a senior living facility. So Congress is in trouble. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go first take a look at the terrorist attacks. Are we at risk of more terror attacks? What to look out for? I had mentioned in, excuse me, I had mentioned in some of the remotes, I felt we were vulnerable to attacks. And specifically, I felt that we were vulnerable to attacks from drones. And this was why maybe the US government was monitoring drones in New Jersey and on the East Coast, was concerned about drones coming in, potentially dirty bombs, etc. And we talked about risk of terrorist attacks. All right, let's go ahead. We'll take a look. We'll see what's going on, and we will answer your questions about all of that. If you haven't had a chance to like and subscribe to this channel, I'd be very grateful, as it does help grow the channel. We're trying to get to 100K. Should get there eventually. Okay, let's do the Empaz Prayer. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us, excuse me, please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. Let's do it. Regarding the terrorist attacks, we had the Nine of Swords. So, the problem with terror and terrorism is that it terrorizes. It's done because they want to create as much terror and heartache and misery as possible. And of course, you have the Nine of Swords. Investigation is still going on with High Priestess moving in to uncover that which is hidden. That is the purpose of the High Priestess. And the situation right now, angry person. So we are vulnerable to attacks. We are vulnerable to attacks. Maybe governments that are angry at us because they're not happy with our political views. But Knight of Swords is like a helter skelter kind of energy, and it's still right over us. So that could indicate that we're still vulnerable at this time. So just be diligent. The crossing card is the world. So we're looking at potential attacks, not just in the United States, but also globally. And what is above? Lovers. It's interesting. We're at a point in our American history where we have the opportunity to reach across the aisle, but we also have this unbelievable anger. It's very important for us to try and get along with each other to the best of our ability, to not sow this tension, to seek partnership and cooperation and see the good in everyone. Coming out of Ten of Cups, which is again a desire for unity in the nation. Smoother waters lay ahead if we all work together. Where we're at right now, people attempting to flee or a thief attempting to flee. So I feel like the country does have the country does have a security issue. It has a security issue and it may have a criminal element that is still here. We have this Knight of Swords, angry energy over us, and we also have this Seven of Swords energy, which is a thief or a thief in the night attempting to flee. So I feel that there's investigations going on, there's ongoing crimes being thwarted. And it's just one of those things that it will not pass anytime soon. This need to establish territory. We're at war right now with Iran. And a lot of that has to do with creating tension between the United States and Iran. Final outcome is Queen of Pentacles, which leads me to think that America's business is strong. America will come out of this. I do think that this individual was motivated by a deep-seated anger against the United States, and that this is not the only person intending to engage in these kinds of criminal activities. I think this person might have been recruited online, and based on the Akashic field or what kind of profile I can get on this individual, he had been disgruntled and angry with the United States for some time. And certain policies he felt that were going on under the Biden administration, actually, with Gaza, etc., I think was what triggered this individual. But you get the impression with this profile that he had been building up animosity against the United States for some time. Okay, so the next question we had to do with Mike Johnson. Would he be able to stay in power? A lot of people are unhappy with Mike Johnson. Of course, he's not going to get any cooperation from the Democrats, and it looks like he doesn't really have much of a majority. Let's see if we're going to continue to see Mike Johnson, MAGA Mike, in the House, or if we're looking at a very different, more cooperative House with more moderate Republicans reaching across the aisle, because this second term of Donald Trump is not like the old term. This second term is being backed by Silicon Valley, and that is a different bunch of money than the first time around. So we're not talking about money coming from Donald Trump from the churches. So the churches are not dominating as much as they did in the past. Now we're seeing Silicon Valley. We're seeing this as a libertarian investment. It's all about the mighty dollar. There's pros and cons to that. The pros are that we'll see a lot of innovation. And let's face facts, life is better with tech. We love our smartphones. We love everything that tech is producing, Silicon Valley. But I think they also will be working on getting a lot of those defense contracts, of course. So that is where Elon Musk is headed. He wants absolute control to do whatever he likes. In his defense, he's pushing for science and innovation. So Democrats agree with him about bringing visas in for workers. You know, the conditions, I'm not happy about indentured servants or something like that. We don't want to exploit workers. But let's take a look at whether or not Magic Mike, uh, MAGA Mike, is going to stay or if he is going to be ousted. I'm not having much hope for MAGA Mike. MAGA is upset. MAGA is upset because Elon Musk wants to bring in 100,000 foreign workers. So you have this civil war breaking out within MAGA, which MAGA, you know, are they going to dump Trump finally? Four of Pentacles would be a retraction. It's also to examine the situation, and then Four of Cups. So I would say that Mike Johnson is very, very stubborn. He is refusing to back down, and he thinks that by sticking with the incoming president, he's going to have the most power. And so he has that kind of Four of Cups energy coming in. But there is a power that's greater than the president, and that is the mighty dollar and new industry and new things being built. And this desire for Democrats and Republicans, they want to get a piece of the pie. They're thinking in terms of passing legislation that's going to benefit their state. Five of Swords taking the weapons of war away. It's not looking good for Mike Johnson. It's going to be very hard for him to control this Congress because it looks like the wild, wild west. You know, it's like when we stroll into the wild, wild west, that is exactly this kind of energy because you have this kind of Five of Swords and you have a battle happening. I think it's going to be very hard, if not impossible, for Mike Johnson to keep control of this House. Because you have too many independent people. You have too many independent people. Matt Gaetz is gone. You have him being abandoned, poverty also. It's difficult for whatever reason. If Elon Musk is the money, if Peter Thiel are the money, then they are the money strings. They can control what's going on in Congress. And it could be that they decide that for whatever reason, Mike Johnson, that they're going to go more with somebody that is more of a moderate that Republicans and Democrats can reach across the aisle, because I don't see Mike Johnson having a future with these cards. Nope. All right, let's take a look at the MAGA Civil War you guys had asked about. I know that it was to be expected, right? Because MAGA and Silicon Valley, you couldn't have two different people. It's interesting to hear Laura Loomer talking about the working poor, right? You know, so many things that those of us who are Democrats, we want to protect the working poor. So many things where we see eye to eye with what is being said. And that's why disinformation, a lot of people voted for Trump that are concerned with the same things as you and I. They just have disinformation, right? But this, I'd also like to take a look at this energy with Laura Loomer and Steve Bannon and how it's impacting the future of MAGA. Let's take a look. Because I really feel that Trump is going to side where the money is. So he's going to go with Elon Musk because that's the money. Whoever's paying his bills. He's just the actor doing the performance who's got to sell it to the audience. But the real power is the money that's pushing the buttons, right? Behind the president. It's not Trump we need to be afraid of. It's his handlers, right? It's the people paying. Okay, so I don't see MAGA surviving. I know that Steve Bannon talks about the fact that MAGA is strong, MAGA will survive. But High Priestess is moving in with the Strength card would indicate that what's strong in 25 and beyond has to do with more wisdom, seeing the deeper meaning of things. MAGA would not be presenting as a high priestess. A high priestess is very auspicious. It's the law, it's the Torah, it's wisdom. Also, Strength card, which is also auspicious. There's a huge fight coming to the house. MAGA is definitely going through civil war. I believe it's just a case of the fact that Peter Thiel and Elon Musk are not going to pay for this. We're not going to pay for these crazy ideas, and they will starve them out. They're only going to lobby and back what supports them in their agenda. There it is. Get rid of them. This is sad because they've really been betrayed. The working poor that want health insurance, etc., that were lied to and seduced into thinking that Trump was going to help them. It's a shame. I mean, both parties have not done enough to support the working poor, particularly in red states. Three of Cups would indicate also that there's some kind of a celebration that happens. So there's this destruction of this negative aspect or this civil war that happens, but then something really positive begins to emerge. And you have this kind of amazing working productivity that starts to enter the United States. I've said that I feel this greening starts to happen. And you can see also Nine of Pentacles, which would be productivity. Even though Elon Musk and these other companies are bringing in artificial intelligence and automation, I don't feel the entire world wants it. And I don't feel that every company is going to switch to automation. I just don't. The future is human. You know, Nine of Pentacles is the confident human in the garden. And uh, Judgment is solid. You know, it's kind of interesting. It'll be interesting to see this future Republican Party. It looks a lot like the Republican Party of the 1980s, very much focused on money, wealth, business. Biggest threat to this party is going to be corruption, theft, deregulation is the biggest thing that Democrats or anybody that's concerned, I don't want to say Democrat, anyone that's concerned with ethics has to be concerned about deregulation that could lead to theft and corruption going forward. And the final outcome is most likely cooperation and innovation. I keep seeing the same thing, that I really feel like the working poor that voted for Trump really do get kind of abandoned in this scenario. But we do see a lot of innovation, tech, and some positive things coming in in the coming year. Like I said, the biggest threat, Seven of Swords, is theft. So we have to be very, very mindful of making sure that when they start looking at deregulation, they're not deregulating things that require accountability, right? You know, legal accountability, accountability from our government. All right. Thank you so much for watching this quick video. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can book me through Booksy. It's real simple. The information is below, or you can request a pre-taped video through Wizio. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. Thank you for your support. Bye.